Hello everyone, No Life here, and today we will be discussing the Muerto Times 14th edition, which goes over a decent bit of upcoming changes, actually about four of which have a good chance of finally showing up in the patch. I'm assuming that would be releasing next week, as usually when they have a Muerto Times releasing, it's a week or two before a patch comes out. But regardless, getting straight on into it, the first thing that has a fix and testing is going to be the lockpicking exploit. Now, I don't have a clip to show on screen, but basically, as far as I can tell, what that exploit is when a victim they do the lockpicking minigame, get one bar done, they jump off the door or gate, whatever, and then they start picking away again. From what it seems to be is when you do this, it like completely resets the progress. I don't personally don't know if I'm doing something wrong, as whenever I tried doing this, all it was really is just the bar slowly ticking down. I mean, I don't know what the point of this exploit is. Someone in the comments will have to explain that to me, but I'm a little ignorant on as to why this is so big that Gun finally decided to fix it like a year later, because I'm pretty sure this has always been an issue, even since the technical test. Next up, we have Hands Ripstall cooldown ability upgrade level 2. This is something that I've been complaining about like since day one. His Ripstall cooldown is only supposed to be like 40% or so, maybe less, but for some reason, that Ripstall level 2 cooldown is like 40 seconds. Like, he has his Ripstall available every 40 seconds with that level 2 ability on. Trust me, I've had games where I had a Leland put on a valve handle. He got a decent bit of progress on it before Rip stalled it. Then Daddy slips through a gap and it goes ahead and throws another valve handle and tampers it. And I was still able to Rip stall it before the valve tank even went off. Like, that is how fast his cooldown is. It's a joke and it makes it impossible to get out against hands in most situations. Your only way of getting out is literally to coordinate two exits at the same time, and that's not something you're gonna do on solo queue. So, it really makes it annoying to go against heads. So I'm glad they finally decided to go ahead and look into reducing that. Now, I personally think his rip stall by default needs a longer cooldown, as even the level one version of it is pretty fast, unless they're completely like looking into his cooldown across the board. That's not going to be a huge change, but it's something in making hands less miserable to go against. Now, next up, we have the Valve infused bug spawn on the mill. I believe it was specified by the devs that this is talking about the fact on the mill you can get a spawn where both the Valve and the Valve and fuse box can spawn right next to each other, right around that overgrown area. If you know what I'm talking about, it's like the area where there's the shed that the fuse box can spawn in, and then the tank will spawn right next to Sissy's little flower station, right next to that little shed that leads to the basement stairs to the overgrown area. Apparently they're going to be doing something about that to split those spawns up. So perhaps there's some sort of spawn logic where they do not spawn together. As those areas are fun, it's just the fact that having a fan being able to camp both those areas is a little ridiculous. This is also an issue that was on Nancy's house, where the fuse box used to be able to spawn right next to the barn, right where the valve tank spawn at. They since moved that fuse box over towards the sliding door at the battery. They're still a little too close, but at least they're not kissing each other. You don't want to have any area where someone can literally just sit here and camp two objectives. That's a little much. Now, finally, we have family members stem in private matches. See, now, I've had people complain that the since the anniversary update, the family stem wasn't scaling properly. I never noticed it in game. However, when I tested in private, I definitely noticed it. So this is what I was talking about a video or two ago, where I was saying the right hand and left hand they aren't communicating, they aren't functioning the same, or something. The public games have some perks and issues that are not visible during private matches. For example, barging doors. I mentioned that before, but barging doors, the first bars on the door doesn't work, whereas that's not supposed to be the case. So, private games, barging works completely fine, but in public games, they do not. So, that's something that needs to be addressed. I don't see it here, but wishful thinking, maybe they'll fix that in the next update. Now, we'll be moving on to under investigation. This means that everything from here on out is not highly likely to show up in the next update. The four things I just mentioned, those should be fixed in the next update, but these ones, they're not guaranteed. So that's going to be the close encounter slash grappling issues. For those of you who do not realize, ever since the anniversary update, they messed up something with grapples. From what I've experienced on both sides, it appears that the victims aren't properly getting their starting values towards grappling. Just to go over a quick recap as to what that is. Basically, whenever a victim grapples a family member, they already have some progress towards winning the grapple, whereas the family does not. This makes it so the victims always have that advantage at winning grapples, and that's why you usually cannot win your grapples unless they're low on health or they have suffocating grip on, which suffocating grip, of course, makes the family member's button presses worth more for each tap, and victims, when their health gets lower, their button presses aren't worth as much as they are when they're healthier. So those things combined, is why you're actually able to win grapples with a family. And as you can see with these clips here, you have a full health Ana I'm able to easily kill, which should never happen. I'm a full health Connie, unless they had suffocating grip on I didn't know about, which I believe they might have, because if I'm not mistaken, Grandpa was level 1. The thing that was really frustrating about that situation there in the clip is I tried to stab Grandpa, and then if you actually pause the video at the right time, you'll be able to see Sissy kind of slipped over and tried to attack me, and then for some reason the prompt sucked over to grappling her, and voila, I ended up getting killed in the grapple, which I should have never lost, assuming the values weren't broken. But hopefully that's something they could look into and fix, because this has been an issue for like a month now, and it's already a bit annoying. All we got was a hot fix and no other fixes to all the bugs they introduced in the anniversary as. Them fixing the server desync was nice, but there's still a ton of bugs they introduced in the update that need to be addressed, as they're not game breaking, but they're still very annoying. Now, next we have Heron Connie's Focus Star Aside ability. I don't know why they're singling out Connie's here. It's literally every victim's ability you can hear. If Julie goes to her ability, you can hear the sound of that going off. Same with Honor. You know when she's able to tank hits. Sunny, you can hear his ability go off. Like everyone who has some sort of noticeable ability that makes some noise with it, you can hear. Generally, the people like Danny Leland or even Maria, you have ways of figuring out. But it's usually a little too late when it it is the case. But if they only fix Connie's ability and not everyone else is being audible, that's a little strange in my opinion. 'Cause if you fix one, you should be able to fix the others. Now they have just various private match issues. The only private match issue I really seen was that sentiment thing. I don't know what other private match issues there could possibly be. Only thing I could think of is all those issues they mentioned were there with the amazing anniversary patch, which introduced one good thing and then broke the entire game. So finally, we have needs more info, and that is going to be issues completing mini games and getting stuck in mini games. I haven't seen anyone getting stuck in a mini game since the update, where they try to get tools or bones and they just don't get a prompt to actually collect them, but they're stuck in animation. Even that one, at least you get knocked out of. But the only issues I could think of with completing mini games will be something where if you grappled a family member immediately after you win, and you would, let's say, open a fuse box to try to unlock something, the prompt would disappear and you wouldn't be able to see what you're doing. I looked through my entire 1,000+ clips and I couldn't find anything, so I'm sorry I can't show anything off. I swore I had a video of me grappling Nancy and trying to do the fuse box, and I couldn't see with Leland, but I looked and I looked and I looked and I couldn't find it. So I guess I must have posted that or deleted by accident. I don't know why it's not there, but that's going to be about it here for this video. Unfortunately, as of uploading this video, there was nothing else revealed to us. No news or the rush week besides the teaser, and no leaked cosmetics or anything like that. So whatever I actually get some info on actual patch, whatever leaks that accompany leaks, I'm sorry, updates that accompanies it, what skins, rush week, is that coming, etc., etc. I'll probably pile it all up in one video along with the patch notes, but for now, the next video I want to upload, unless they again have that patch coming out next week, is going to be the one about the changes I want to see on the family side. As I'd wanted to do that second part to the victim one I did like a month ago for a while now, but I kind of kept getting sidetracked, and my work schedule has changed, which complicates things. As the day I usually record videos, now I work, so this is the one day I actually managed to get off, so I can finally record something. But thank you guys so much for watching. As always, if you haven't, get a life.